but my nation was occupied by the French. D'abord, comme toujours, je suis un poète créole, but still, I am a Creole poet. Ma corbeille d'épices caribéen est remplie avec l'histoire du go. My Caribbean spice rack is stocked full of flavored stories. Mais mon sang était de couleur d'esclavage, but my blood was once the color of slavery. Mais maintenant, je rêve à dormir sur les oreillers de justice. But now, I dream of sleeping on the pillows of justice. Eh bien, regarde-moi pendant que je courir de l'assaut qui est injuste, jusque je peux arriver au temps au-dessus de le faire de justice. So watch me run from the lasso of the unjust, just to make it under the wire of justice. J'avais beaucoup à dire. I have a lot to say. Mais mon cœur était liant avec les fers, et mon corps d'ivoire était tapé. But my heart has been wired, and my vocal cords have been tapped. Eh bien maintenant, j'avais rien plus à dire. So now, I have nothing more to say.
I thank you. Let's read more.
So the next one is entitled. This is a more lighted, funny, more Americanized one. It's called "Dancing Queen, Where You At."
Would you like to read it?
You know, it's like
Or should I
things
read it
get
for
too
you?
serious.
Yes.
I'd like to read that one because I like it's playful. I don't want people to think I'm just like hardcore serious.
Of course.
This book is fused with everything from religion to politics, from romantics to nature. It's got everything in it.
That's right.
It's not just about devastation and disaster. So, Dancing Queen, where you at? That's for my friend Neka. You know, my friend's
Menki,
my friend
Professor
Neka,
Menkiti's
Professor
daughter.
Menkiti's daughter.
African Ascent had Professor Menkiti, who is a professor of philosophy and also a poet, as one of its guests. So we are referring to his daughter, Neka.
His daughter Neka,
who happens to be the friend of the poet here.
I'm Neka's friend, yes. For my friend Neka, my graceful and thoughtful diva. Dancing Queen, where you at? The music is still blazing. Last time we saw you, your legs were bleeding. In these parts, melancholy is crying, her face swollen with tears. Dancing Queen, where you at? Ever since you've danced here, the music has never stopped. Our once joyful town is submerged in sorrows. The music never stops here. Dancing Queen, where you at? Splinters of our hearts are breaking apart. The color of our rainbow is stuck on blue. A flock of birds still chirps softly above our heads, waiting hungry to be fed. Our starry skies have diminished in size. Dancing Queen, where you at? If you come distressed, we'll embrace you. We won't disgrace you. We tried but could never replace you. In the twilight hour, our moon will crown you. As you twirl in the bitter mountain winds, the music will wish you wings. Then you will release your swing. Hip, hip, hooray. Our shadows will speak, graceful, that you'll have made us complete. We will welcome you back in very familiar zones. But hurry before our dancing shoes have turned to stones. Come dance with us. Dancing Queen, where you at?
Superb.
This one was included in an anthology called Home. Along with other writers from Harvard. I was so complimented to be included with other writers with PhDs in literature, and here I am.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, an ESL student.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, give me a few.
Okay, so this one is called Almost 16 and Standing. It was made into a song on a CD that came with the book. 3 of my poems have been made into songs. Wonderful. And this one was made into a song. It is about battered women and growing up, you know, in America. You know, my stepfather was somewhat abusive. And so I wrote this poem on behalf of every battered women everywhere.
Excellent. It has a universal theme. Almost 16 and standing. Almost 16 and standing, a lonely boy as lonely as the letter, on the corner of fallen and wind-borne streets. At exact 11:59 in the p.m., in his Sunday best. Almost 16 and standing, like one of the dots on the ice and missing, below the marquee. He's not waiting to see a movie. He's not waiting for anything. Unfortunately, at his house, his mother is being battered. He chooses to stand at the corner at 11:59 in the p.m. Waiting for the midnight hour, his eyes frozen in passivity, hoping for captivity. Under the marquee, he will never again play kick the can, looking down fallen street. Marvelous.
This was actually me. I actually did that. I dressed up for my birthday and left my house and went into downtown Boston and just stood there. It was a really sad day for me. I turned 16 and there was no birthday party. So
So you took it out on this particular...
So I'd rather be in the street than in my home. You know, the street was safer. You know, and when you come to this country, you don't speak English, and your parent doesn't speak English, and you have the one provider who is providing, and he's abusive. So what do? You know, you don't know how to. There's no escape. You know, and my mother could not speak English, and she could not bring herself to leave because she couldn't provide for us. So, you know, so because of her, I studied harder, I worked harder, I never gave up in school, even though sometimes I would show up to school with no book bag because there would be chaos the night before, but here I would show up, and I graduated with honors and went to college and graduated with honors there too. And till this day, my stepfather has finally realized, because he saw this book, and he realized the impact that he had. And without him, maybe I would never have been a writer, because I turned to writing as a way to escape. Most kids growing up in Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan at that time turned to gang violence. I turned to writing and doing well in academics. And my mother would show up and watch me receive awards, and sometimes he would sabotage that week so she wouldn't be able to go. I would have to receive awards by myself. But for the most part, she was very supportive, and she kept me safe. She never let me be a street kid. I had to go to school. I worked at McDonald's, and I took care of my sister, and I studied. That was my life until I was 18. And then she finally released me when she knew that, you know, I had good sense, you know, and I listened. Most, you know, young men would not listen to a single mom, but I loved her, and I listened, you know, and I made things easy for her because she had it hard as it was. I didn't want to add to it, you know.
Of course.
Till this day, I'm somewhat of a male feminist. I'm all about empowering women because in a male-dominated world, sometimes you need to, women needs to have that sense of capability and strength. Because I know, because a woman made me who I am. So women are to me are very important and very should be very respected. I don't tolerate disrespect towards women in any form, shape, or form from anyone.
He speaks quite truthfully, by the way. If I can reveal a secret, I almost had his lovely mother sit right next to him for this particular interview. She did come in, she did sit briefly with us, but she thought that she was not properly dressed for the occasion, and also additionally that she's shy. So she had to leave. Otherwise, I was going to surprise my tremendous viewers out there to have my guest be interviewed with his brilliant mother on the side.